I fell in love with a young lady who was a Christian, and we were married a year and a day after we'd met. And over the first few months of our married life, when she insisted on going to church and I would tag along with her, I decided as a hotshot lawyer, which I was in my own mind, that I would get some books out, including the Gospels, prove to myself that this was all a load of rubbish, that Christianity was not true, so I could persuade her of the same thing, and then we could have a proper life and have Sundays for reading the newspapers, which of course we all know is what they're for. That backfired rather horribly on me, because after about 3 months of reading a number of books and the Gospels, I was intellectually persuaded that the evidence for the life, death and resurrection of Jesus Christ was compelling. I then, a few weeks later, in a ramshackle old former Boy Scout hut in South London, gave my life to Jesus in 1979. It was the best decision I ever made.
And do you have a favourite passage, a favourite story?
Yeah, well, I read the Bible almost every day. That's how I like to start the day. But for me, the most powerful passages are about faith. And I suppose Romans 4 is one I go back to again and again, which talks about Abraham and his walk of faith. And there are 3 words which I find utterly compelling. Abraham believed God. And I would just love it if I was worthy to have those words on my gravestone, on my tombstone. Gary believed God. Wouldn't that be great? Not believed in God, but believed in him as a living being who's directing our lives. And I find Romans 4 and everything to do with Abraham in the Bible utterly inspirational.
Do you then take that into your work as an MP?
I felt called into politics by the Lord in the mid-1980s. That was against my wishes or expectation. And so I am very much involved in politics because I felt God calling me. So it's from his word and from his calling. I think the Bible is shaping me. I mean, this is where I think journalists who ask these trite questions about, well, do you stick your finger in the Bible to decide whether to go to war in Iraq or not? It's ridiculous. What the Bible does is shape us as human beings, and therefore we have a framework and a character and a worldview from which we can make these difficult decisions, hopefully with wisdom. It's a challenge to us as to how we live our lives. I mean, for example, loving your enemies. Well, what could be more apposite when we have this battle against terror going on, people who are out to destroy us in the West, than actually being challenged by that on a daily basis. That's not to say we shouldn't have a robust response, but actually our attitude towards them is to love and forgive and try and find a way towards reconciliation. That's radical.